Okay, so we're gonna tackle four different categories. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you're new here, my name's Koa, and this is Koa's Plant Corner. So today we are continuing my series, my Koa's Plant Care series, and this is normally where I would feature one plant from my collection, and I'll talk about the care for it in hopes of helping you care for the plant if you're at home struggling with it, or just to compare and contrast the way I am taking care of this plant and helping it thrive and grow in my environment. So before we even get into it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell down below, that little button, because in clicking that, you'll be notified when I upload my next video. And it could be another plant care guide. It could be something different. You never know. It could be a plant haul. Hopefully it's a plant haul, but you never know. So don't forget to do that, and let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna tackle four different categories, and these categories will help, or they're kind of helpful to categorize the care for most plants. Not all plants, because I do want to add humidity when it comes to certain plants, but for now, I stick to these four. So the first is lighting. So I'm going to talk about the lighting that the plant's in, if it's happy in that lighting. If it's not happy, we'll talk about that then. Secondly, we're going to talk about the watering. So what type of water I use to water the plant. And I also do typically include the fertilizers and the water-soluble nutrients that I use in the water. Thirdly, we're going to talk about the pots that it's in. When it comes to pots, it's always directly related to the soil and the water. So next, we're going to talk about the soil and if it's happy in the soil that it's in right now. So let's go ahead and get started and try to keep this video short and sweet and informative. So this plant is a philodendron. If you are not new here, you've probably seen this plant before. It was very small. It was a lot smaller than it is right now, but I'll go ahead and show it to you. So the plant today is a Philodendron Brasil, and right now I have it going up this stick here. Ooh, it's kind of hard to see, sorry. I have it going up this makeshift, and turn it to the side so you can see what's happening on the back. This makeshift moss stick situation. But this plant actually lives on my shelf above my bed. So I'll insert a picture of the setup right there. Bing. So that's what it looks like there. So first, let's tackle the lighting. Hold on. Sure, there's no. Try to make sure there's no spider webs in that because it's been up there for a while. So the lighting for this plant, it gets a lot less lighting than the plants in front of it. So it gets like, it's probably 5 feet away from my southwestern light in the morning. If I'm awake that time, it can get a little bit of direct light, especially when it starts moving into fall to winter. It normally gets some direct light in the morning, but in the summer and spring, it just gets ambient light. So yeah, my room remains pretty bright. I think the majority of the leaves are facing toward the window. So even though I have like a small grow light as well as my municipal cabinet on the right of it, but it doesn't get any light from that really, probably just like the tiniest bit. But the majority of the light it gets is from the window. So you can kind of see the new growth. Let me just show you that. Yeah, it's getting a little smaller because I just recently staked it up. So that's it for lighting. It's happy in the lighting. I found with most philodendrons, when it comes to vining ones, they do not do as well in lower lighting settings. So this is probably the lowest light that I would give it potentially. I do have another one that's like directly on the same wall of my window, and it gets a little bit less lighting, and that one isn't really doing too hot. So this one is doing a lot better. Everything's the same for both besides the lighting. So this one does appreciate a little bit more light. For watering, so just like with my other plants, I do use filtered water. If I'm in a rush, I'd probably use tap water, but I've never been in so much of a rush that I would use tap water. I just would let the plant stay thirsty until I use filtered water. For the water, I do use Super Thrive. I did use at one time fish emulsion. I use micro powder and liquid dirt. Right now I'm testing out liquid dirt on my plants. So that's what I use for the water for this baby here. For the pot, currently it's in a ceramic pot. I have it potted directly into this pot with no cash pot. It's just the plant in there. So far it's doing well. I think that especially because it's up there on my shelf, ceramic pots are a must for me up there because they dry out way too fast, especially because they're a little bit higher up, so it's warmer, especially now that it's winter, the heat's on a little bit more, so it's going to dry out way faster. So the ceramic helps to retain a little bit more of the moisture in the soil. So far so good. And also the same with the other plant that I have it directly potted into a ceramic pot as well. Okay, and lastly for soil, it's in a very airy mixture like the majority of my plants are in. I'm gonna keep saying this, but it's an aeroid, so it does help to have a little bit more of a chunkier soil mixture, but not too chunky in my opinion. So I have a lot of general potting soil. I'm gonna try to show you without tipping the whole thing over. I have, let me try to get this leaf out the way. Yeah, so I have general potting soil in there. I have some orchid bark, some leca, a lot of perlite. And I think I did douse the top of this with some worm castings at some time. So that's what it's in right now. It's happy, it's growing well. I think that it could be due for a repot, but honestly, I'm not lazy, just a little busy. I don't have time to really repot a lot of the plants that I should repot. So when I first got it, I think I have a picture of what it looks like. If I have a picture, I'll put it here. If I don't, then just ignore that. But it was a lot smaller. It wasn't even like trailing at all. It just had like, it was just a little like fold down here and that was it. But since this back part is against the wall, all the leaves kind of fell off. And there's a few leaves in the front here. But even this, I have to propagate a little bit from it so that I can keep the crown full. But I don't want to cut it. I like what it's doing, how it's trailing up. It's really cute like this. It kind of gives your eye on the shelf. It kind of gives your eye something to look up to, you know. But yeah, I think that's it. Ooh. Yeah, so one tip I do want to leave you, I've said it already, but lighting. When it comes to finding philodendrons like this, I have Micans, I have the lemon lime one, I had the green one for a very long time. Oh, I have one green one actually. I have a green heartleaf, I think it's called a green leaf heteroraceum. Green heartleaf heteroraceum, I think they're called. I have, what else do I have? And that's it when it comes to the vining ones like this, or the heartleaf ones, sorry. And they do appreciate more light than less. I actually had my lemon lime one like this. I had it in direct light, like sitting directly inside of my southwestern window, and it was honestly the happiest it's ever been. So I think with these, you're better off giving it a little bit more brighter light than less light. Even though people say that these philodendrons are low light tolerant, I don't really agree as much. From personal experience, I have a northeastern window downstairs, and I have heteroraceums in there, heartleaf heteroraceum. I have micans in there. I have a green leaf heteroraceum in there, and they're not doing too well. They really do appreciate more light, and I know that light is what they're lacking, but I'm just trying to experiment and see how it goes. So I can keep you guys updated on that too, see how that's happening, how that's going. But I'm losing a lot of leaves because it doesn't have a lot of light. So I do suggest giving it a lot more light, and you'll end up with a happier, you know, happier Brazil, a happier green leaf heart. What is it called? Heartleaf philodendron, heartleaf heteroraceum. But yeah, you'll end up with a happier plant. I'll just let you know now, I did experience, I think it was leaf miners or thrips on this plant over the summer. A lot of my philodendrons did get attacked with thrips, so I did have to, sadly, I did have to toss out a lot of my philodendrons, including, I had to hack up my sport variegated monstera. So when it comes to philodendrons, if you live in like a very thripy area, just be mindful that thrips are they can be attracted to a lot of plants, but I found my philodendron and my monstera were viciously attacked. So I threw away a lot of my heartleaf philodendrons. I'm only left with this one, my lemon lime, and my other Philodendron Brasil. Is that it? Oh, I have my micans as well. I'm never giving those up. My micans are here to stay. But yeah, pest is definitely a thing with philodendron, and I experienced it for the first time this year, this summer. So that's just an extra tip for you. So you can actually avoid that using systemic or like insecticidal soap as a preventative measure, or beneficial bugs. There's other ways of doing that, preventing it as well, but I use systemic in here in my shelf plants because it's further away from my birds. They don't really go up there, so I use that in there, and that's kind of, I think that's helping with the pest situation that I had, you know, because that was really intense for me and low-key, high-key, very stressful because I was just tossing plants out. Very sad, but yeah, now she's doing a lot better. So that's a little tip for you. Okay. So yeah, so thank you all so much for watching this video. Again, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below if you have a Philodendron Brasil. Are you into these philodendrons, these types? So there's the vining, then the climbing one, like my what's that called? Philodendron Emerald Red or Imperial Red? I never know what it's called. I think it's called Emerald Red. Yeah, those are like the climbing ones. These are more so the vining, but they can climb as well. They do prefer to climb. But yeah, I'm a fan of it. I'm not gonna lie. If my area wasn't so thrifty, I think I would have more, honestly. But for now, I'm happy with the little that I have. They add like a nice like pop of color, especially the Brasils. So it kind of stands out from your typical green leaf plants with the lime color to it. Kind of stands out. It's cute, it's fun. Why not? Thank you all again so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.